Today on the Webmasters, Ken heads to Las Vegas
Giada, this is Ken.
to meet with Giada De Laurentiis. She's a prolific food dynamo, but her website has run into problems.
I would email them and be like, where is this recipe?
Her keyword rankings have tanked,
They dropped off.
and many people can't find her at all.
It's very difficult to find Jadzi anywhere. Very frustrating.
Sure.
There's only one way to get this food diva back on track.
They really need somebody with the type of expertise we have, and I want to personally be able to show that we can get these type of results.
I don't know what we would have done without him.
That's next. For over 25 years, Ken Wisniewski, CEO of Webamax, has built digital companies from the ground up.
The internet has really become involved in every aspect of our life.
And all along the way, he shared what he has learned. But now he's going a step further and helping brands and businesses become more successful.
This is the starting point.
From search engine optimization and social media to digital advertising and reputation management, he helps companies make more money.
As it scales, where will our budgets be?
The job is never easy, but the work is always fulfilling when the ultimate goal is to help people and their businesses win. This is the Webmasters.
One of the biggest challenges that they're having right now with Giada's Giadzi website, they've seen this huge dip in overall traffic that they're actually getting to the website. And that's all something that's happened here really recently over really about a couple of month period of time. So clearly something's wrong. This is a great opportunity for us. If we could kind of dig in and then let's try to get this figured out. Personally, I want to show Giada what we can do. Okay, let's get it done. All right, thanks guys. Hey, remember after work I'm heading out to Vegas tonight?
Yes.
Going to see Giada De Laurentiis.
Nice.
Yeah.
I want you to ask her a question for me.
All right, cool.
I'm very curious if the water in different regions
Right.
affects the cooking, the pasta,
Right,
the,
right.
you know, the crust, things like that.
All right, well, I'll try to remember.
Well, you better.
All right, I'll let me. Thank you. All right, I'll
careful.
see you soon. Vegas, baby, Vegas. Man, do I love this place. Not just for the casinos, but for the food also. There's a lot of great places to eat in town. I'm so glad to be here for this meeting at a very special restaurant with a very special lady who's building an absolutely extraordinary culinary empire, Giada De Laurentiis.
How are you?
Nice to meet you. So you're the SEO specialist.
That's a big piece of the business that we do.
We're really excited to talk to you.
I guess the first question is the goals and what you're really trying to accomplish with the site.
I started Jadzi in an effort to be able to communicate with my fans like a daily basis, really. My biggest frustration has always been the fact that when myself or my family Google something, it's very difficult to
Right.
find Jadzi anywhere.
Gotcha.
When I first built Jadzi, we built a custom site, which was beautiful.
Sure.
What I didn't realize is that the SEO was going to be low. My frustrations when I would email them at all times of day and night or text and be like, where is this recipe?
Right,
I
because
can't find it.
the issue was that like on social it was doing great.
Right.
Like we'd post a recipe, post a travel
Right,
tip,
sure.
and people would click on it. We could definitely see people were engaged.
Right.
And then if later on though in the day or the week somebody was like, oh, I really want to find that recipe, they'd go search it on Google and it wouldn't come up.
It just didn't show up anymore. And that is frustrating.
Sure.
It's very frustrating.
Sure.
We were really going gung-ho with the content. Tons of
Right.
articles, tons
Yes,
of recipes.
yes.
We got this. And
Right.
we still didn't fully understand
Right.
SEO.
Right.
Yeah.
Building your own content-rich, custom site like Giada did, it's just fine. But without any SEO and an SEO strategy, you're just going to spin your wheels and you're never going to generate any real site traffic.
It's a great site, it's a great brand. Some of the images that were on your site were beautiful images. They were just really, really large. The heavier they are, so to speak, the slower your site is. So there's ways that can compress
Wow, all
those
these
files.
little tips.
I
Wow.
know.
When Google sees sites that people are clicking off real quickly,
Pushes
and
it
it
down.
pushes it down.
Image-heavy pages are a definite red flag. If your site loads slow, trust me, Google is going to pass you by.
In the process of all that, we then later switched to WordPress,
Right.
which I believe has a higher SEO just because
Yeah.
it's a platform.
Correct.
Ish?
Yeah.
Am I sort of on the right track?
You know a lot more about SEO than you think you do. When did you do that?
When was that? Last April?
That was April. Oh, yeah, last April.
One of the things we noticed was in April, you ranked for about 24,000 different keywords that were ranked relatively highly on Google. Ones that are very specific to your name and a recipe. You know, your name and Christmas cookies, things like that. But in April, even some of those rankings that you had, they dropped off.
But if you looked up pasta, would I come up?
If you looked up your name with pasta, it would come up.
What?
Yeah.
I would think it would come up anyway.
Well, it will.
At some point.
And that's what we're going to work on.
Bingo! That's okay.
Switching from one platform to another has a lot of risks. It's definitely something that can affect your search rankings.
So our next step for me will be to go back, we'll go in, we'll make a bunch of these changes, and it's going to make a significant impact.
Yeah, it'll make it easier too if we want to expand it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kenny.
Well, perfect.
All right, I look forward to it.
Thank you.
So before I let you go, my
Yeah.
wife had a question for you that
boy.
is not web related.
That might be easier for me to answer.
So when she goes to different places and cooks in different places, do you ever notice that the consistency or the difference in the water makes a difference?
Everything makes a difference. From the temperature outside, to the humidity level, to the air, to the water, to the ingredients. Even though it's chemistry and there's an exact process to doing it, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? That's why they always say, the pizza in Naples, you can't ever make the same anywhere. So yes, tell your wife. She's on to something. Smart lady, and she's a keeper. She's a keeper.
Thank you. I agree with that. And we'll get to work on everything, and I'll look forward to going over everything with you back here in a couple weeks.
Amazing.
Great.
Thank
I'm
you.
excited. Thanks so
Thank you
much,
very
Ken.
much.
Appreciate it.
So one of the points I really want to get across to my team is for Giada, she's already a brand. We don't really need to get her name out there. She doesn't need a lot of promotion, but what she does need is she needs her site to be able to be found more. Really, the fact that she's a superstar in the industry and the fact that her site isn't getting the type of traction that it has, it tells me that there's something wrong with her site. And it tells me that our project in this particular case isn't really a marketing project, it's really a technical project. And it's really being able to go back and identify those problems, fix them, and set Giada on her way. And I'm confident we'll be able to do that. Any thoughts right off the bat?
The pictures look very large to me.
Right, so the pictures were something that I was looking at as well. They need to be compressed. They're really heavy, and the fact that they're so heavy, I think, is slowing down the site quite a bit. Our task here is pretty simple. We have to take these great looking but huge slow loading pictures on Giada's site and compress them. When we do this, the site is gonna run much faster.
I noticed, I think they just migrated to WordPress. Did I see that right?
Which is a good thing because we know that WordPress is going to be a better platform for them. It's quicker.
We noticed the old platform, they were not using search engine friendly or pretty URLs. So they had a lot of illegitimate characters, dynamic URLs, so nothing was getting indexed. They didn't have, giazzi.com/recipes and then something geared towards Giada's pasta alla vodka. So that wasn't getting indexed for that keyword. So we should see some quick wins with just making sure we have 301 redirect set up.
Our job here is going to be to check every link and every URL on Giadzi to make sure they're including all the keywords that are going to pay off for her in the Google searches.
Looking at the keywords, they had a pretty significant dip in the number of keywords that they were being ranked for. I don't know if that's something that we've had a chance to dive into.
So I'm thinking that that might have something to do with the platform change. We've seen this before where, some type of development site or, something is still out there being indexed. And if that's the case, that would be kind of what you'd see, that immediate dip in the keywords really. It's going to be important anytime you have a new website to make 100% certain that the development site is not still being crawled by the search engines. This just kills traffic and can really injure your brand. If we could kind of each go back and dig into those specific areas that we're talking about, and let's try to get this figured out. And my intention is to get back out there and have these things wrapped up and us on our way to being able to see that traffic going up here in the really short term. Let's go ahead, let's get this going. I appreciate it, guys. Let's go. Let's get on this.
Over the course of the following weeks, the Webemax team optimizes the images on Giadzi.com, cleans up the ugly URL structure, and deactivates any links to the old pre-WordPress site. Ken is finally ready to show Giada the upgraded Giadzi.com.
Thanks for having me back. I'm excited to be able to show you some of the changes that we made. Now, one of the things that we look at just with your homepage, the homepage was loading extremely slow on the laptop and really, really slow on the mobile devices.
Correct.
On the laptops, it's probably 2 times faster than it was, but we're probably looking at speeds 5 to 7 times faster on mobile. And the mobile will continue to improve as some of these changes are actually indexed a little bit more. And we all know the mobile is where everybody's really viewing everything.
That's where I view everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it's not on my phone, chances are I'm not looking at it.
Right. People are going to stay on your site longer. They're going to be able to find what they're looking for, and that's going to help you improve with your rankings.
I mean, especially with this type of site,
Yep.
since there's a lot of recipes
Yes.
on it, and people are at the grocery store and they're like, oh man,
Yes.
I wish I could.
Yeah.
And that's what I used
Yeah.
to do, and it wouldn't load.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you get so frustrated
Yeah.
that I felt like I had to go somewhere else to find the
Yeah.
recipe, or I just was like,
Yeah,
screw it, I'm
that's-
just gonna make something up
That's a
today.
great
That's it.
point. So before this URL, it was like a number sign, a
Yeah.
bunch of, it didn't even have
the
your
slide.
actual specific
really?
Yeah.
information in there. So this is what's called a pretty URL. And it's and basically by being a pretty URL, it exclaims exactly what that is on that page. Now, just the fact that that change has, the search engines are going to see that so much easier, and you're going to see a tremendous pickup in how much that's going to happen. Before when they
That's
just
so
saw
crazy. How
I
are
know.
we supposed to know that?
Yeah, seriously.
again, these are things that are changes and things that I've learned over time. Just something like that will make a huge impact, and we went ahead and made changes like that across hundreds of your pages.
So if I Googled lemon or arugula salad, would it come up?
It's going to start coming up a lot quicker. Yes, and
I wouldn't
over
have to
time-
know that it was candied
Right.
lemon and
Yes.
arugula salad.
Yes, 100%. Yes, and that's something
That's
that's
gonna be a
gonna
game changer.
Yes, it really will
For
be
us.
for you.
And even me, when I'm trying to search for a recipe, I have to search so specifically in
Right.
Google.
No, it's not possible.
Jodzi, lemon
Yeah,
candy,
it's not
like
possible
yeah.
to do that.
They won't have to have your name associated with it to really be able to find it, which
Okay.
is huge.
That's huge,
Wow.
yeah. How quickly will we start to see the change?
That's a great question.
From what I understand, we've already started to see a change.
So in just 2 weeks, you're already on a much better path than you were just a short period of time. And over the next month or so, you're going to see a huge increase.
Wow.
So,
That's so great.
yeah. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know what we would have done without him.
I know.